Okay, we're back. No, I think the lighting looks great, Judy. So, hi, you guys. We are back. I know we just had our podcast and we had Debbie Corey on there and she talked all about financial strategy. Today is a day of strategy. Let's just call it that because I'm feeling that we need to I'm feeling that we need to have some additional educational opportunities for personal development, for professional development. And so not only did we bring Debbie Corey on for our podcast episode this morning, where she talked about your financial strategies, setting goals in your business, giving yourself some grace. Judy and I were just talking about having a pity petty party where sometimes you just feel like you want to feel sorry for yourself. Okay, we'll do it. And then a good friend of mine and also a member of ours, Wendy Sterling, I love when she says, you can have those parties, just don't send out invitations. Don't start inviting people. And then Judy followed up with saying, yeah, don't set up shop and like hang out in that apartment. And I was like, you do not pay rent there. So, reason why it's okay to have crappy days, which I need to make sure everyone understands that we're not robots. We have emotional feelings. And if you're like me, Judy and I have talked excessively over the last week. I've just needed somebody to talk to because I'm feeling a little like, wow, there's a lot of uncertainty going on. And I've needed to bounce some ideas off of someone and have some additional conversations. And Judy and I just happen to keep connecting. It's not a just happened to. We're crossing our paths on purpose because we need to during this time. So whose path do you need to cross on purpose right now because you need that in your life? So I'm just going to throw that out there. Don't be afraid to take a day to step back, to get your mind straight. We're not robots. I love to hug. I love to see people. I can't do that right now. I talked earlier about I was at the grocery store and I smile at everybody because I want them to know I see them. So I smile. I couldn't see other smiles. I couldn't see if someone was smiling back at me. So we have to learn how to smile like with our eyes now, right? So we have to do things different in the way that the reality is today, period. There's just no going back. So what I want to offer you and what Judy wants to offer you is another opportunity for you to do that through your personal development and your professional development. And she's going to be putting on a couple of webinars next week that are going to encompass, should I stay or should I go? It's about personal development. We're going to jump a little bit deeper into that. Judy's going to explain it. And the other one is about if you're an executive and you're managing people, are your people that are working with you in this new reality of being, working from home, and how are you having staff meetings? What's happening there? Judy with LifeWorks Systems, she's the perfect one to be able to come in and help you with what that dynamic looks like, what you're struggling with in your solopreneur business, and what you might not even know is approaching or you're struggling with your in corporate as being an executive. But we wanted to give everyone the opportunity to attend these free webinars to get some nuggets of information and find out more how LifeWorks Systems can help with some of the trainings that they offer. So Judy Ryan, I am going to turn the floor over to you to share your brilliance.
Thank you so much. The more I know you, the more I love you, Colleen. So appreciate this. I'm really excited about these two seminars. They're very different webinars. They're very different. I'm limiting them to 10 people maximum so that there's really opportunity for you to ask plenty of questions, to engage with me about some things that maybe are very specific to your experience. So just to let you know, I am the CEO of LifeWorks Systems, and I've been in business since 2002. So we're in our 18th year, and we're a virtual company. We do a lot around performance management, around engagement in life and work. That's why we have life and work in my company name, which is LifeWorks Systems. And the first program that Colleen mentioned was called Should I Stay or Should I Go? Because I've dedicated decades to helping people know how to make relationships work that maybe aren't working. So there's a lot of knowledge that we don't have about how do I take a relationship that isn't going well and do things that I've never heard of that would help those relationships become strong and healthy and trustworthy and all kinds of things. But I've also in the last couple of years discovered some things that I struggled with in some of my key relationships. And I started to get information that helped me move into healing and releasing and to stop judging myself and forgive myself for the relationships that I can't fix. And sometimes they're not as obvious on the surface that we can't fix those relationships. And so I learned a lot of terminology that has been a huge game changer. Things like, what is an empath? What are narcissists? What are the kinds of narcissism? What are things like intermittent reinforcement and parental alienation, and some things that are actually breakers of this is a relationship I should leave. And it's really important that if you're looking at, should I stay or should I go? And I don't even mean just in a romantic relationship. It could be a relationship with a family member or a neighbor or somebody in your church, or, they may be a relationship that no matter how hard you're trying, you're not even sure it really can be fixed. So we dedicate about half of the webinar on that kind of situation, and the other half on some things you can learn and do when it's possible to fix it. So that's a little about that program. Colleen, did you want to say anything about that?
I think everyone can use that that program, because we all have relationships. If you're in a relationship with someone, this is an opportunity for you to learn a little bit more about science with that relationship that you have with those people, or maybe with employees or colleagues, or even outsourcing subcontractors that you work with. There's a push-pull struggle, whatever it may be. So
I mean, I'm even in the psychology world, and I still didn't have a handle or a clear understanding on some of the terms. And what I found is when I wrote articles and I did presentations on this topic, almost every time there was somebody in the crowd that would cry and say, why don't we all have this information? So I really feel excited to present that to you. Do you want me to go ahead and jump into the other event?
Let's do it.
The other event is, are my people being responsible even when I'm not there to oversee them? Because lots and lots of people cannot be policed right now, which is actually probably a really good thing, because if they're not being responsible, it's your opportunity to help learn yourself. What am I doing that keeps them from being responsible and is a contribution to that? And what would I do if that is the case? How do I help make sure they're being accountable and that our relationship is strong and that they have purpose and value-based reasons for doing a good job for my company, for our organization? So that's more about, how do I make sure that the culture in my workplace is significantly more strong, even now with the conditions we're all dealing with? Because all misbehavior comes out of discouragement. So with people going through so many things, if they're not being supported well, if they don't have the emotional and social intelligence skills, they're much more likely to go off the rails in one way or the other. So that one is also limited to 10 people. And really, for the people that are willing to the only thing you're asked to really put in the mix is to take the time to fill out the surveys, because that allows me to be very customized in what I present and why, and tie it back to where your greatest priority needs may be, and maybe some of the common challenges amongst the people that participate.
Yeah. And culture is so important to retaining employees. It's so expensive to have to keep bringing on new employees. So if you've already had to furlough or let go of employees or downsize, it is so crucial now that the employees that you have are engaged, are the right employees, are that they're immersed into the culture, and that you have a culture that's worth someone showing up for. That they have that they want to really work hard and dedicate their time and their efforts for your vision.
And just when you said that, Colleen, it made me think about, you want those people to be really high performing, really engaged, but sometimes the ones that aren't so engaged actually have the capacity to be very engaged, and we don't even really have faith in them. So that's why a lot of times we'll rely on those steady A game people and don't really know why we should have to develop the ones that are not. But I know you and I talked about this before, about your experiences in corporate, and you said, gosh, I wish we would have had this when I was in corporate, because it wasn't really an environment that would really develop the people that were already struggling to begin with, right? It was only good for somebody that could almost get by in the midst of negative culture.
Oh, yeah. For sure. So you know what I think I'm going to do? Wasn't planning on this, but I think what I'm going to do is for anyone watching this video now, and many of you will watch it when we're not live, which is great. In the comment section, I'm going to put down the little snippets of the video. And I was actually going to go see if I can find those videos that you had sent me. I was going to pull those up. The should I stay or should I go? Do you have that snippet of that
I do.
video?
I have both of them.
It's a very quick video. So why don't we just show those really quick? And then, I'll add them in the comment section. But if you've got it, let me give you the option to share your screen. And then why don't you just share the should I stay or should I go video? And then are your people responsible? They're really quick little videos. We should just share those now.
Yeah, they're only under a minute. Okay, so I'm going to pull this up. And then as soon as I get it up here.
Yeah.
Do you want me to take control of the screen?
Yeah,
then?
go ahead. You can share your screen and then let's play the video so everyone on Facebook Live in our group can see it.
Okay.
Perfect.
Many of us work hard trying to make relationships work and work well. And yet sometimes consistent love and encouraging support remain out of reach. Whether you stay in or leave such a relationship, you experience pain, confusion, and feelings of inadequacy. Sometimes these relationships can be fixed with improved insights or tools, but sometimes they can't. I developed this workshop because until I understood the information in it myself, I couldn't heal and move on from relationships that really could not be helped or fixed.
Yes. Yes. So you have, let's go ahead and go to the second one. You want to find the second one? Are your people?
Yeah, I actually have it really close by here. So let me.
So that's perfect. It's just a little snippet. We'll add that video below in case you have a friend that you think should attend this webinar, or maybe you want to bring them to the webinar with you. Then you can just share the video with them and say, hey, check this out, and then share the registration link, because we are going to put the registration link in the comments section, and we are going to have that available for all of you to register. Again, it's free. So, oh, wait, tell them the dates real quick before we jump to the next
Actually,
video.
both of these events are going to be next Thursday, July 16th. This one that's on developing your responsible, fully engaged people is the corporate one is from 9 till 11 Central Time.
Okay.
So people know that it's in Central Time. And then there's also going to be the one, should I stay or should I go, which will be from 11:30 to 1:30.
Perfect.
So after. So you want me to go ahead and hit close?
Yeah, go ahead. Let's do it. Let's share the screen. Oh, wait, I can't see it, so you have to share. So go back and then we'll share the screen. I'm just looking at
sharing a screen, huh?
Everyone's just looking at us. So yeah, once you share the screen, then let's hit play. Awesome.
You can see it, right? Okay.
Yeah.
You have an extraordinary workplace culture. What you've been able to successfully do, but also regular mentoring with your team, is transfer responsibility to people, to everyone, for what's called task ownership. So if I'm working in an organization where everybody's learning how to manage relationships, everybody's learning how to manage their productivity, to manage their engagement levels, to manage their purpose, values, visions, goals, procedures, and roles, and I'm just there to help make sure that they're paying attention to that, and that they're taking actions into that. What you've done is you've created this supportive system so that the managers aren't being like policemen. They're freed up to run the productivity and meet the objectives of the business, because all of the employees are part of supporting a culture of excellence, an extraordinary culture.
Yes, absolutely. I love that one. All right, great. You can unshare. Thank you so much, Judy. You know what? I love that one the most probably is because managers and supervisors or leaders in corporate, they're not supposed to be the police. They're not supposed to be the bad guys. And you can get so much more engagement, and people can get so much more self-fulfillment out of their position by you simply making it easier for you and empowering them.
Yes.
To tap into what we talk about all the time at Lead Up for Women, their strengths, their superpowers, what are they great at, what drives them. And when you're empowering them versus dictating what they need to be doing, you give them the opportunity to start tapping into that creativity.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think we actually are taught even from the time we're little kids in homes and in schools that our power is a little bit suspect and should be corralled all the time. And what we really should be saying is, wow, I've got this whole group of people with power and I can help them use it for the good of all and for their own good. And not be afraid of that in people. So what we do instead though, is we still use sort of like these domination models for trying to get people to do what we want them to do. And some of them don't even look that bad, like using incentives and rewards, or even as simple as, Colleen, go make me proud, or Colleen, I'm disappointed in you. Like those are really awful control models, but we use them all the time until we know better.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
Yeah.
And I
So
think a lot of people think they're already supposed to know how to do this, but we should have had this in school, you know?
Oh, I know. Right? Maybe because the entire world is changing, the school systems will change.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
That my grandkids will have a better education. That's all I'm
It's
saying.
funny that you say that, Colleen, because we've even done reform projects in schools where not only did the parents and the teachers learn, but the administrators and the students. So we would jokingly tell the kids when they were learning how to redirect negative behavior, I said, now you can redirect your parents' negative behavior or your teacher's negative behavior.
Yeah.
But it was really great because we had the entire community, including the neighborhood, involved. And we actually won an award for working at the most at-risk schools where the kids weren't staying in school and graduating before. So this work it's wherever you learn it, it works everywhere. So if you learn it in corporate, it'll happen at home. If you learn it in home, you can use it at work.
I wanted to go in very quickly and just make sure before we sign off that I don't have anyone that's asking any specific questions in the comment. I just want to double check. Okay, great. I think we're okay. So this is what we're going to do. We'll share this, we'll comment on it. Anybody who has questions, please put your questions into the video. We will also put the extra videos that we just showed down there. Just, put the links, and you've got them on Vimeo. So Judy, if you want to drop those links in there, we're going to drop the registration link. Don't forget, it's going to be next Thursday, the 16th. The should I stay or should I go? So for the individual, there's only up to 10 that can register for that one. So make sure you jump on quick. 11:30 to 1:30 Central Standard Time. And then are your people responsible? So the executive for somebody who's in corporate, who's responsible for the culture, and other people that work with them, 9 to 11 Central Standard Time. So we'll put all those dates in there so all of you can get registered. And if you have someone that you feel could really use this opportunity, refer it to them, because you guys, I say it all the time. If learning is beneath you, then leadership is beyond you. We are here to be leaders. Use your voice, speak up, help your friends, lift other women. Let's share this information so they have the opportunity to attend. So we'll get all that information in there for you. And Judy, thank you so much.
Colleen, I'm so grateful for you and all you're doing for women. So thank you.
Thank you.
Me today. I appreciate that.
So awesome. All right, you guys, bye for now. We'll see you later.